Oh, guys, we got a trailer for Squid Game Season 3. It is coming in just under a month now, and I am beyond excited about this. I loved Squid Game Season 2. I think a lot of people thought it wasn't as good as the first season, which often happens, but I really thought it was just as good, if not better, than Season 1. And I've covered it a lot on my channel over the last few months. Season 2 and 3 were definitely written at the same time. I mean, Season 2 ends with a cliffhanger that Season 3 is going to pick up straight after. So it does feel a little bit more segmented to Season 1, which was a full kind of piece of art, I guess you could say. But that being said, this new trailer brings so much excitement and anticipation to what is next in this really cool new franchise. And I have a lot of theories of how this thing is going to end. What's up, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Hit the subscribe button for more pop culture content. Okay, so I've spoken a lot about Squid Game on the channel, as I said, and one of the other things I've talked about over the years through my work is this idea that Netflix really likes to milk franchises for as much as they can get out of them. I always use Stranger Things as a main example here. I mean, season 1 of that show was amazing, and I've heard good things about the rest of it, but to be honest, it could have just ended at season 1 and been great. With Netflix, if something works, they have to keep doing it and doing it to keep people coming back to the platform, and I get that. So that's kind of how Squid Game 2 and 3 was born. I mean, I really believe that the creator of Squid Game just had one season planned and written, and that's what we got in season 1. And then Netflix was like, you have to do more. You have to add like a tease to more. And that's how we ended up with what we've got. That's okay though, because I think it's quality. And season 2 ends in a huge cliffhanger where Gi-hun, the leader of the Squid Game rebellion, I guess you could call it, fails to overthrow the Pink Guards with his team of rebels and ends up being captured and his friend being murdered in plain sight. So I think the trailer gives us some indication of what is going to happen next in these games, and it's really fun to speculate about it. It seems Gi-hun is returned to the common area and is handcuffed to one of the beds. And I am curious as to why the frontman didn't just kill Gi-hun or why they've decided to keep them alive. I actually have a theory that the billionaires who watch these games for entertainment find him a really interesting and entertaining player, so they want to keep him alive. Like, the billionaires don't really care what happens. Like, the rebellion and the gun shootout at the end of season 2 was probably really fun for them to watch, so they probably really like this guy. Speaking of those billionaires from season 1, we do see them return here. We see them watching the games, and maybe interestingly, we see a woman amongst them, whereas in season 1, we only saw men. Hey, I guess women can be billionaires too. Looking at you, JK Rowling. And we know that the games will continue as normal. In the post-credit scene for season 2, we see the players going back into the red light, green light arena, but now not only is there a girl, but a boy statue as well. I'm not 100% sure what that will be, but probably just a new game involving 2 of them. Plus, we see a team selection kind of exercise for a next game where there's almost like a lottery gumball machine style thing that spits out one of 2 colored balls. We assume that this is breaking the remaining players up into 2 teams, and most interestingly, we see the mother and son duo split up into different teams. I think this is something we could have seen coming from a mile away, that one of them will outlive the other, and possibly one will have to be responsible for the other's death. Even in season 2, we had that mingling game where it was seen that the son actually kind of betrayed his mother in a way and went without her. And the mother was obviously really upset about it, but I actually have a theory that in the next game, she will betray the son and the son will die. Because I think that's what Squid Game kind of shows, is that no one is kind of like truly good or evil. It's just like when survival is at stake, people make really, really big, rash decisions very quickly. We also see one player, I think it is the transgender player, who is like bracing themselves for a fight, which appears to be like a fist fight. I do wonder if maybe one of the games towards the end is just a like fist fight or boxing ring style fight to the death, which would be very up Squid Game's alley. I do have theories on how this is all going to end, and hear me out here. I think there are 2 directions this thing could go. The first is that Gi-hun does succeed in bringing the games down and like everything is, I guess, kind of a happy ending and everyone escapes. I think that's unlikely, and I actually think what's more likely is one of the following. The first theory I have is that Gi-hun will realize that to end the games for good, he needs to make the ultimate sacrifice. And so he will end up dying by his own hand, knowing that the games will end forever. I'm not 100% sure how that'll happen, but like that could be the thing. Because I think that will showcase the good that we've seen of Gi-hun as a character. You know, he always tries to do the absolute right thing, no matter what. And he would be willing to make that ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. That being said, I do think it could go the complete opposite way. And I think it was actually alluded to in season 2 where Gi-hun is discussing the plan for the rebellion and says that some people will need to kind of be sacrificed for the greater good. Which again shows this like moral gray area of Gi-hun as a character. Like he is willing to sacrifice people for what is right, and even the frontman calls him out on this. Maybe Gi-hun and the frontman will end up in some kind of standoff, conversation, or discourse, and the frontman will convince Gi-hun that the games are inevitable, they will never stop, and maybe that they are even good for society. And maybe Gi-hun will, I guess, come to the dark side and become the new frontman. I did see a few people writing online that the frontman's character arc kind of sort of mirrors Darth Vader. I mean, everything from the black outfit and the mask that he takes off and him kind of struggling with the balance of good and evil. A lot of people thinking he might ultimately come back to the light side, and I guess Gi-hun is a stand-in for Luke Skywalker in that moment. But the major theory I have, and I think this is definitely going to happen, I will be very surprised if it doesn't, is that we will find out that the games are not happening just in Korea, but worldwide. Recently, we had the confirmation that a Squid Game USA adaptation is happening, but I don't think it's just going to be an adaptation. I think it's going to create a Squid Game universe. And even if the games in Korea come to an end, the show will allude to the fact that over in the USA, the exact same thing is happening, or all around the world, there are games happening. I even think we will see a glimpse of the American Squid Game starting. Like, I think season 3 of Squid Game will end with us seeing a bunch of Americans going into a red light, green light style game. Because like I said at the start of the video, Netflix really loves milking their franchises. And to be honest, I'd be really happy to see Squid Game be one of those milked franchises, because I think there's a lot of potential for it to be really awesome. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, if you like this video and you want more pop culture analysis content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think is going to happen in Squid Game Season 3? How do you think the whole thing will end? I would love to know your thoughts. If you made it to the end of the video and you want to help me out in the algorithm because you're a good guy and you think I'm a good guy, just comment below green light. That way I know you're here and I know you made it to the end and you're a true fan. While I've got you, I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool. I have a blog, a podcast, and various other platforms. You can check them out in the links below. And if you like this video, YouTube thinks you might like this one here as well. But if you just want a bunch of Squid Game related content, check out this bad boy playlist. I will not stop you from binging all of those videos. But that's pretty much it from me. My name's InReadyMike. This has been the Inside of My Mind, and I will catch you later.